Welcome back, players and playettes, to the 2023 LWS Open at Idlewild, presented by Dynamic Discs and the Natty.
Sit back and recline because we have brought you the Back Nine. This is a DGPT Elite Series brought to you by Ace Run Pro. I'm Raven Klein.
And I'm Holly Finley. We are here at Idlewild in Burlington, Kentucky. This is your FPO chase card.
It was an absolutely beautiful day today, so I'm really excited to see these four attack the final nine. We'll check in here. Valerie and Madison leading the group with a 4 down with still some holes to play, and a lot of people sitting at that 3 and 2.
Shout out to my redheaded friend Cadence Burge.
Yeah, she had a great day today. We've got hole 10, par 3, 368 feet. This is probably one of the trickiest par 3s that we have. You'll see players just trying to pump something up the middle here, and it's really not too bad if you go left. You just don't want to find yourself on the right side. There's no OB, but this does gradually incline to the basket on the hill, and a par feels great.
Sai with a bit of a turnover shot. It flexes back barely, and she's in the middle.
There are several small dry ravines in the middle of this fairway that you'll often find the discs landing in.
Ooh, Ella pulls her shot to the right and makes it about 30% way down the fairway. That could be a tricky par.
Missy was a nice shot there.
I feel like that's what you're really looking for.
Yeah, I find it way more ideal to be on the left side of the fairway as you move up.
Hanna Huynh pulls her shot to the right as well, but gets lucky, kicks through all the trees, and gets a full flight out of it.
Ella actually kicked to the left side of the fairway.
I didn't even see that.
I didn't see that either. Leaves her approach short, and she'll have a decent distance there to still make par.
We have seen a lot of sidearms out of Hanna Huynh today.
Sometimes the course just brings it out in the people.
Hannah's sidearm was successful, and she's up there putting for pars. Sai checking out her footing. Raven mentioned you got all these little dry ravines filled with rocks. It's a pretty good turnover shot from the knee side put together.
Missy overrunning the basket there, but leaving herself inside the circle for her putt.
To save par, Ananda.
Oh, catches the band. Luckily, the disc 6 sits down at the top of the hill.
Sai currently sitting at 3 over. And we have seen this out of Ella. She's right there. She's hitting the basket.
Seems like a game of inches for her today. And Hanna with a par putt. That's got to feel nice after that second shot, getting her out of the rough.
Sai taking a bogey here on the 10th. And Missy Gannon in for the par.
And Ella tapping in her bogey.
Ella Hansen and Hanna Huynh both sitting at 3 over par for the round, and Sai Ananda at 4 over par for the round, and Missy Gannon still the only one under par. Let's take a look at hole 11, probably the most filmed hole and the most want-to-be aced hole on the course. Only 192 feet sitting on this nice elevated basket of par 3. Hit the gap, let it ride, and hopefully crash it right into the chains. If you clip any trees on the way there, you're going to be scrambling for par. If you don't make it all the way there and hyzer out short, it's still a very gettable putt if you like uphill putts.
That's true. Really, your main goal here besides obviously making it through the trees, is trying not to be stuck on the right side. Because the approach from there can be tough if you get into the rough.
Missy Gannon is pin deep looking at a 20-foot birdie putt.
Oh, that's so pretty.
Hanna Huynh floats past the basket, hits a tree, and clips back into the bullseye. Almost a drop-in birdie for her. Sai lined it up, but didn't execute it on the line she drew, and she has stopped short and left.
Gave a couple spectators a little scare there. Ella with a nice release, but high, and she's going to go past the basket.
Cooks it.
That is going to be like definition of a death putt.
And from here, Sai just wants to get it up on the platform, and that's close enough. She can get a par putt from there. No taste of that. No taste of that.
No, thank you. Not what she ordered. This basket and hole is so interesting because you're really throwing flat. Mm-hmm. If you can just take out looking down the gully, it's just a straight shot, but it gets in your head to be on that hill.
Missy Gannon gets a birdie to drop here on the 11th. Hanna Huynh with the CTP of the group, also taking home a birdie.
Ella feeling good about that smart play.
That was a smart play. I can't lie, though. I like a risky putt.
I do, too.
I wanted to see it. Missy would have went for it.
She definitely would have. I think on a different day, Ella would have gone for it, but
yes.
She just caught a lot of
Missy's
cage.
under par. She could afford to go for it.
That's true. Here we are at hole 12, par 4, 564 feet. This hole is brand new for us this year. It's a slight adaptation to the hole from last year. Your first shot, you're trying to either turn something over or go a forehand. There is a mando tree that we just passed on the left. A great shot can get you close to the gut, but then your second shot really is tough if you're not lined up perfectly with that small fairway. You'll see some people out of position take our old fairway and try and get up to the pin, or, poke and pray.
Missy Gannon pulls it a bit left, and she has ended up short on the left side. She does not make it to the corner. And really, you can just utilize the same tee shot as the old hole.
Yeah, you don't have to change much from the shot from last year. If you have something that you can maybe hyzer flip up that has a late turn, like this is a great shot from Sai. Oh, just catches a late tree.
Looks like she went right down the gap, though.
Yeah, it was beautiful. I like the sidearm play for getting around the corner, but I do find that you miss the gap for the fairway entirely, and
yes.
You have to create your own route to get to the basket.
Yes. And Missy Gannon got caught up on the left short, so she tried to go for an aggressive shot down the tunnel, clipped a tree, and now she's more of in the position where her drive originally would have landed.
Hanna kind of held on to that a little too long and caught a tree. She should have a hyzer to the basket now, though.
And Missy's third shot again does not make it down the intended fairway. She might have to play for a bogey.
It's a nice shot from Sai. Oh, wow.
Ananda almost throwing it in.
With this newly cleared out space, they did a nice job of getting rid of all of the excess, ground brush and vines. So while there might be a lot of trees, if you use your airspace, there are quite a few ways to find your way down there.
This is Ella's second shot after an incredible forehand off the tee. Oh,
what a good tree.
She smoked that upshot. It was going 100 deep.
Oh, she was going for the next basket on 13.
Wow, now Ella's parked for a drop-in birdie.
And Missy finally able to connect with her shot and not end in a tree hit.
That's actually Hanna's fourth shot, so she'll have a drop-in bogey. We've seen a fair number of forehands out of Hanna Huynh today, which has been enjoyable. Sai swatting the grass or the weeds that got in her way. Missy will take a bogey here on hole 12. And the team told us they redesigned this as Ella taps in her birdie incredible upshot. And Sai takes a par for safety. You know, the upshot on the old pin position, a lot of times if you went a little deep and long, you hyzered into the tee of hole 13, and well, that's not safe. No one needs a tee shot flying at them when you're trying to tee off.
That direction.
Exactly. So we appreciate everyone thinking of the player's safety there. Here we are on hole 13. I love this hole. Locally, they play it as a double mando, but for the Pro Tour, we're not into that. Off the tee, get as far as you can. If you can hyzer a little at the finish, that would be a bonus. Landing in the flats about here, primo position. Then you can choose your own fairway up to the green, but not too aggressively now. It's out of bounds, really close to the basket. You can see the little creek there on the left. As soon as it drops off, that's where the out of bounds begins. Oh, we've got a fan off. Fan on, fan on, fan on, fan.
I appreciate the two legitimate fans, but I don't want to discount how well a disc works as a fan.
If you're ever in doubt, a disc? Ella Hansen up first with the peppermint patty.
Let's clear that tree.
And she did not make it, and she's out of bounds.
From the tee, it's a little deceptive because you have to push a lot further than you think before you have your disc hyzer out, if that's the play you're going for.
Sai pulls hers to the right, hits a tree, drops down out of bounds off the tee. That's 2 OB shots in a row here for this card.
You can, if you catch one of those trees, but you land on the left side of the creek where Sai just was, that's actually inbounds.
Missy hits the V tree, ricochets, and she's inbounds barely. You talked it into existence.
There we go.
Let's talk one down to the flats. Come on, Hanna Huynh. Looking good.
Yes.
Looking real good for us and her.
Clearly, we're magic.
I love it.
That's a great shot.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets, except for being up against that tree. And this needs to sit down quickly because there is out of bounds on the left side, and she has found it. Oh no, that premium plastic's just a little too fast on the landing.
And something, you'll see those rounded bricks all along this course, and on this hole, they don't catch the disc as well. They actually act a little bit more like a ramp along this left side.
Missy with a nice shot that finishes straight, and she kept it super low to the ground.
Oh, look at this. Don't say low to the ground.
Worm shaver.
Ella cutting some grass there.
Look at Hanna's shot. This is her tee shot. So now this is her second shot. Stand still, pinched up against a tree, stay in bounds.
Wow, that was honestly such a nice disc choice, I feel like. When you get stuck by a tree and you know you're going to short arm it, sometimes changing the disc is the play, and Hanna did that very well.
Hanna's looking at a birdie putt. Oh, this could be... Oh, luckily, it's good. It hit something.
Staying away from that
OB.
OB.
The angle was scaring me.
Ella's forehand caught that tree, but this is still only her... well, I guess OB. So fourth shot.
Oh, no, and she's out of bounds again. I mentioned you can't come in too aggressively near this green. It's small. It's very small, and it just shows up quick. You want to kind of land short and scoot up to it if you can.
Yes, landing short of this one is great. Well controlled there by Missy. Sort of looks like she's just ready to be done with this hole.
It does. It did appear that way. I agree with that statement. And Ella's just hitting a lot of the basket today, not getting them to drop as we would like her to.
That is 3 in a row for this card, just being slightly off.
And Sai having to take a triple bogey here on the unlucky hole 13. Hopefully that'll be a little more lucky for her tomorrow.
This hole did play as the most difficult hole on the course today for FPO. And seeing how that turned out with this card, I can definitely see that. There were only 3 birdies on the day.
3 birdies, and they all had to make a really long putt to get it. And after all said and done, Missy Gannon's still the only player under par here.
Moving on to hole 14, we have another par 4, 556 feet. This has such a tight gap off the tee as the main one. There are obviously several small gaps, but if you can throw a forehand down around this corner, or like a lot of the other shots on this course, maybe a flip up with a late turn, a lot of people throw their second shot just to get down in that left area that we flew over, and then your third shot brings you to the basket. Very few people are usually in position to go for the green on the second shot.
There's a lot of space to work with on this hole. Missy Gannon throwing a little hyzer flip up, low and controlled, but clipped some trees on the way there.
I really love seeing people get aggressive on this hole. Oh, and I feel like Hanna was inches from the type of shot that gets it for you.
Hanna's turnover shot takes up a lot of fairway space. You know, it's a hyzer flip. It's going left, it's picking up, it's moving right.
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice little kiss from the tree.
Isn't it fun just to watch them fly through all the gaps?
It is. I feel like sometimes that just happens where you'll pick your line, but you can't see the second half of the fairway.
Right.
So you really just have to hope. Sai definitely in the best position after all those drives.
And you can actually land in this ditch, up on the bank, you know, up there near the spectators. All of that is safe.
Yeah, you don't run into OB until you get down to the creek in front of the basket. I would say this will be a pitch out situation for Hanna.
Yeah, she just wants to get into a good position where she can get to the green from there. And actually from where Sai was, she could have went all the way across, but she chose a smart play, went to the safe flat zone, and now she can pitch over again.
Yeah, in an ideal situation, Sai might have tried to go a little bit closer and gone to the right side of the green, but getting too greedy can cost you on this one.
Boy, don't I know it.
Ella going for it.
She throws it hard enough that she busts through the trees and ends up right by the basket.
And that little ditch that's next to the basket is not OB, it is just unfortunate footing. This is actually the hole Hanna threw in on last year. I think it was her first time on coverage. Similar location to where she just was. Sai with the approach.
I feel like that's just where your discs end up.
I think it has like a gravitational pull to it for plastic.
Missy with a little chop forehand into the green.
And Ella with the par.
Sai with a good par from the little ditch.
Par for Missy. And a bogey for Hanna. This hole actually played as the second most difficult, right behind our previous hole. So
only one birdie, and that was by Miss Emily Beach, a lefty.
Oh, I bet that was a wicked shot.
whiz.
Here we are, hole 15, a par 4, 387 feet. We actually play a short tee pad, unlike previous years where we played the long tee pad. Optimal drives will land about here, leaving you a nice short approach between 150, maybe 180 into the green. Often you can just do a standstill with a putter or a mid, float up there, and get yourself a look at a birdie 3. The short tee has really made this hole so much easier, although I do love the long position as well.
Yeah, I did play the long for fun, and it is, I mean, fun is the right word, but in tournament play, I appreciate the small pit, the short pad.
You can see that lighter half-dead tree trunk up there. That is an ideal visual. If you land at it or past it, you are in a really good position.
We had a good shot from Sai. Ella caught that left side, which I find is a common error on this because you're throwing so uphill that a lot of people tend to release a little bit early.
Hanna Huynh's second shot, standstill, turnover through the gap, floating to the basket.
Beautiful.
Yes, she's got a birdie look from 15.
Ella's short on that left side.
Hanna Huynh with a cart before.
I think I've only seen it once. Oh,
Ooh.
Ella going for it. Love to see that.
Ella's given herself a birdie look from 25. Missy Gannon forehand through the gap, but she did it with a nose down chop angle, and unfortunately she's landed short. She could do a long putt for birdie maybe.
A nice shot from Sai. Beautiful. This is, it's interesting because of that uphill tee shot, but it's such a short par 4. So everyone out there is really kind of treats this one almost as a must get. But it's not easy.
Missy Gannon's third
Throws it
shot. Missy Gannon, one way to get the birdie.
She saw everybody else get so close and she wanted part of it.
Said Missy could still save a birdie from here. I thought it'd be a jump putt, okay? It was a nice little smoothie butter throw in.
There was a
Fierce,
nice.
crystal fierce.
This is the hole I threw it on in last year. So there's something about the hole. I don't know.
Ella Hansen for birdie.
Beautiful. That looks more like her normal
You could tell
putt.
right out of the hand that was going in.
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. That's the putt that I'm used to seeing out of Ella Hansen. Hanna Huynh gets a birdie. Sai Ananda gets a birdie.
Oh, and
Everyone gets a
star
birdie.
frame. Love to see it.
That's a really good birdie hole.
Well done, Missy. Secure that star frame. Yeah, everyone played that very well. Moving on, we have hole 16, 969 feet, a par 5. Your first shot, you're trying to just crest this first hill. A couple players might try and push it a little further. The second shot is where it gets interesting. You'll have some players play a little bit safer, just getting to where we flew over at the top of that last hill so that you can see the basket on your third shot. If you really pump the first one, you might push your second to the side of the hill, and then you'll see people lay up a little bit short and have a long bid, or try and use the backboard behind the basket and really make a run for it.
Gannon up first with a safe spike hyzer off the tee, not looking for max distance, just looking to keep it in bounds. It was fairly windy when we got to this tee shot today. Ooh,
Love it.
more aggression out of Ella Hansen going for big distance.
Beautiful. Yeah, with this tee shot, I didn't mention, but all of the left side, all of the right side is OB. And then you've got a little, she doesn't like it. Was it a right yank? Yes, yank to the right side.
And Sai throws traditionally very understable discs, so a big open air shot like this could prove to be difficult for her, and she's out of bounds.
Fight back. Hey, there we go. Hanna threw that a little bit lower, so just clearing the stuff on the right, but finding her way in bounds.
So this is Ananda's third shot, and she's turned it over to the right again, and she's out of bounds again off the tee. She needs to get her most overstable disc and just put it on a hyzer angle and just chip, chip, chip. And Missy sends a spike hyzer up. She's hoping it's going to stay safe on the left, and it does.
The large bush you see on the right side of the fairway is completely out of bounds. So a lot of people even use that as a marker. It's a good thing to aim for if you have a stable disc that you know is going to fade.
Sai Ananda's fifth shot, and she tried to put some hyzer angle on it, which she is not accustomed to, and she has hyzered out of bounds on the left side. That's 3 OB shots in a row for Sai Ananda.
It was a overcorrection on her part. Ella going for the aggressive play, doing the backhand turnover all the way down the hill. She'll be plenty safe as she comes to rest down here.
Ella Hansen, wow. That was impressive.
She has such smooth, like effortless looking power.
Missy's third shot, and she's just replicated 3 of these little hyzer shots, and from there she can do a fourth one and have a drop-in bar.
Oh, what a nice little roll, too.
Look at this. Extra.
Wow.
Extra treat.
Besides the tree. That's a Missy putt distance.
Sai needs to stop the bleeding on hole 16. Let's hope she can get it close. She's pulled it right.
So she'll be safe. Looks like
all
she's
you can
even
ask for.
in circle too. The right side, as you get down to the bottom of this fairway, it becomes much longer left to right, where the OB follows. Oh!
Did you see the luck on that shot? Did you see the course love?
Oh, see, that's one of those things, because she didn't get to see that. Like, that was crazy.
That was incredible. From the knee, Ella Hansen, forehand, third shot.
Throw it in for eagle.
Off
Uses the
bridge
bridge. Ooh,
Wow.
another one.
She's fun to watch.
It's for the birdie. Oh, wow. What a nice bid from Missy. Sending it long.
Sai Ananda from circle 2.
Pushes it just outside the bullseye.
Hanna with a birdie here on hole 16. Well played.
Beautiful. Ella staying safe after that slide. And making good on the birdie. She must have a lot of chalk. Did Hanna walk by
and dust her chalk bag? And Sai Ananda will take a quadruple bogey here on the 16th. Is that 2 quadruple bogeys for her?
The other one was the triple. I think it's just the same color.
I thought the triple was like a dark purple.
And Missy with the par. Yeah, that one can get away quick with those OB shots.
Hanna Huynh impressed us, and Sai Ananda got her lunch money stolen. Man, hole 17, is this a fun one or what? Again, this is a new tee for us. They actually have given us a shorter tee over on the left side. It's a par 3, 287 feet. If you're not feeling comfortable about landing on this small island, you can just hyzer out, bell out to the left side, pin deep, take a putt if you want, or pitch it up for a par. Otherwise, if you are feeling aggressive, a nice putter or mid off the tee will get you right inside this circle, where you can land short of that bridge or bail out over on the right side. Ella Hansen up first. It's a little high out of the hand and nose up. Out of bounds.
Dang. I say if she had pushed a little bit further, you do see a lot of the forehand dominant players playing to that right side. Ooh, Hanna. Oh my gosh.
What a shot. Hanna Huynh, bullseye on the green.
That was beautiful. Looks like she went with a slightly faster disc for that and just got just a great flight. The flip up, full turn. Wow.
It's about
Gorgeous.
as good as it gets without throwing it in.
Yeah.
Missy Gannon shot's looking a little low, and she's out of bounds.
I do personally like the bailout to the left play. Sai with a very understable disc going to the right side. She'll be in bounds, but looks like obstructed.
Right. So this will be Missy's third shot. Looking to hopefully get it right by the basket, drop it in for bogey, and move on. And she's thrown it out of bounds again. Hole 17, you are just nasty. For birdie.
Well, this was she went OB.
Oh, she went OB.
Yeah.
You're right.
That was to
Save the par. I guess it's still safe on the island. This is Sai Ananda. She sort of went out to the right side a bit. Not really a putt. She'll have a drop-in par. And that double just snuck up on Missy so quick.
Yeah, with the size of this island, I like the aggressive play off the tee because even if you sail past the basket, you crossed, you tap in your par.
Exactly.
So I say go for the ace. Yeet that sucker off the tee.
If you go right over the top, you walk it in and it's literally in arms. You're dropping it in.
You're dropping in a par. Even if you were to go left or right of the basket, but you cross the island, it's a circle one putt.
Yep.
I say risk it.
Risk it for the biscuit.
We love biscuits.
Open champion, hold like this.
Such a big trophy. We have made our way to hole 18, our final par 5, 650 feet. They cleared out a lot of stuff on the left side here, so it's not as much of jail. You'll see people throwing a slightly more controlled shot to get over that hill in the middle, and then the second shot is really where you see people get aggressive this year. If you can get out of the gap and leave your third shot up to the basket, then that is fantastic. Fantastic.
It's like basket
It's
and
like
fantastic
basket.
together.
Yeah, it's a new word. Check the dictionary.
Hanna went up first after 2 birdies in a row on 16 and 17. She clips a tree on the right side, kicks left. Doesn't look to be too far left.
Oh, that's pretty. If you can get yourself not too high over the hill and just glide the way down, it sets you up for such a nice second shot.
Sai Ananda's drive perfectly right down the middle of the fairway. Good distance.
Looks like, I think there might have even been a mid out of Ella, and she is almost out.
She could get an eagle from there.
She could. She's definitely in position.
I'm going to call her Eagle Ella today.
I think that's suitable.
Double E! I'll ask her what she thinks about that nickname tomorrow. And from there, another wise, mature choice out of Hanna Huynh. She could have
she's
been
so
aggressive.
smart today.
But no, you don't need to be aggressive. You're just going for positioning. And they've cleaned it out so much, that's actually a perfectly fine shot. Now,
It's
last
crazy.
year, that
She would have been
trash.
trapped for 3 throws.
Yes.
If you were where she landed.
They've really cleaned it out this year. It's almost like an entirely new hole.
Hanna with a nice shot gets herself out into the clearing.
Sai Ananda's second shot. She makes it through the gap. It's cutting a little early.
Little too much, but she's still in the open, just outside the Circle 2 whisker.
Whisker.
Meow.
Ooh, from here, Ella could get to the green for an eagle look.
Oh. She threw it low and kind of turned it over, but she is just short of the right guardian tree. So it would be a tough eagle, but oh,
Look
wow.
at that.
There have been a couple beautiful tree kicks on this card.
Little champ love for Missy Gannon.
That's where you find a lot of trouble on hole 18 is people leaving it short of the 2 trees, and then they have this really low, aggressive putt.
Sai, kind of doing just that. You know, you've got to go under those low limbs, and she just didn't quite put enough on it.
Yeah, there's a very small window of being above the grass and below the tree and still trying to push close to 40 feet.
Ella for eagle.
Oh,
Off the tower.
love the bid.
Thanks for going for it, Ella.
We appreciate you.
You gave me so many eagle looks today. It was very exciting.
So Sai had left that other one short, so she still has another 22 feet or so. Oh. Just a couple rough ones here for Sai in the back 9.
Hanna makes good for the par here on the 18th, leaving her at 1 over for the round.
Solid round for Hanna. Missy with the birdie on 18.
Even after that second shot that went a bit awry, she
Yeah.
still pulled the birdie out.
And Ella tapping in a birdie. And Sai with the par. So Missy getting the birdie on 18 brings her back to 1 under for the round. Ella
can't
brings
believe it's
herself to
over
3.
already.
I know. This course plays surprisingly quick for being a wooded course.
I think because it's so fun.
I would say that that's fair. Oh, Madison going off today with the 6 down. Just so cool.
The Mandujanos taking over 2nd and 3rd place, and again shout out to Cadence Burge for holding on to the 4th place spot shared with Lucky. Appreciate you guys tuning in to this day 1 coverage of the Idlewild Open. It's been a fun one. Can't wait to hang out with you tomorrow. In the meantime, if you'd like to support me, Holly Finley, you can do so by heading over to pharmacbd.com. Use code HOLLY for 20% off all products at checkout. Your support there helps support my tour.
And if you want to support mine, I have Tour Series discs on the Dynamic Discs website and a couple special runs through Disc Golf Bra and Another Round. And you can always follow me on Instagram at rkline55.